Florida generally bans the open carry of firearms, except in very few limited circumstances, but change may be coming to the Sunshine State. So be sure to stick around as we're going to discuss Florida's general ban on open carry, the limited exceptions to it, and most importantly, the recent fight to put an end to this infringement of your rights. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Firearm Firm channel. For those of you who are joining us for the very first time today, I'm attorney James Phillips, a former prosecutor, co-author of Florida Gun Law, Armed and Educated, and a founding partner of Katz & Phillips PA, also known as the Firearm Firm. Today we are talking about Florida's ban on the open carry of firearms and how one Pro-2A advocacy group has stepped up to fight against the infringement on the Second Amendment. But before we get into the fight to overturn Florida's general ban on open carry, let's take a couple of minutes to look at Florida's current law. Now, Florida is only one of 4 states, along with the District of Columbia, that ban the open carry of firearms. Not surprisingly, the other 3 states are California, Illinois, and New York. Florida Statute 790.053 makes it a second-degree misdemeanor, punishable up to 60 days in jail and up to a $500 fine for anyone to openly carry a firearm unless otherwise allowed by law. However, that statute does allow for the open carry of a self-defense chemical spray and a non-lethal stun gun or dart-firing stun gun or other non-lethal electric weapon or device that are designed solely for defensive purposes. There are some exceptions to this ban, but the exceptions are considered affirmative defenses. An affirmative defense is a defense in which the defendant has the burden to introduce evidence which, if found to be credible, negates criminal or civil liability, even if it's proven that the defendant committed the crime charged. Unfortunately, affirmative defenses come into play in the courtroom. In other words, even if you have a valid affirmative defense, you may still be arrested and brought to trial. Now, at that trial, you will have the burden to introduce evidence proving that the affirmative defense applies to you. The exceptions to the ban on open carry can be found in Florida Statute 790.25 subsection 2, but I'm going to go over a couple of the more common exceptions that may affect you. The first is those that are regularly enrolled members of any organization duly authorized to purchase or receive weapons or firearms from the United States or from the state, or regularly enrolled members of clubs organized for target, skeet, or trap shooting while at or going to or from shooting practice, or regularly enrolled members of clubs organized for modern or antique firearms collecting while such members are at or going to or from their collectors' gun shows, conventions, or exhibits. A person engaged in fishing, camping, or lawful hunting, or going to or returning from a fishing, camping, or lawful hunting expedition. A person engaged in the business of manufacturing, repairing, or dealing in firearms, or the agent or representative of such person while engaged in the lawful course of such business. A person discharging a weapon or firearm for testing or target practice under safe conditions and in a safe place not prohibited by law, or while they are going to or from such place. A person discharging a weapon or firearm in a safe and secure indoor range for testing and target practice. A person while carrying a handgun unloaded and in a secure wrapper, concealed or otherwise from the place of purchase to his or her home or place of business, or to a place of repair or back to his or her home or place of business. A person possessing weapons or firearms at his or her home or place of business. Now, for those of you who would like to see all the exceptions, I will put a link to the statute down in the description section. I would say probably the most utilized and well-known exception is the one regarding being engaged in fishing, including going to or returning from a fishing expedition. This exception has become well known throughout Florida due to the efforts of the armed fishermen. If you do not know who the armed fisherman is, be sure to check out his YouTube channel. The armed fisherman has videos of his open carry fishing expeditions throughout the entire state of Florida. And his videos provide a lot of insight on how the law enforcement community view and treat open carry. It's probably safe to say that he has educated more law enforcement officers about Florida's open carry law than anyone else. Also, be sure to show the armed fisherman some love by subscribing to his channel while you're checking out his videos. Year after year in Florida, there have been proposed bills which would allow the open carry of firearms introduced in the legislature. However, none of them have ever made it to the governor's desk. There have also been previous challenges to the ban in the court system, including a case that made its way all the way up to the Florida Supreme Court back in 2017. Now, unfortunately, the Florida Supreme Court in that case ruled that the ban on the open carry of firearms was constitutional, but that case was decided under a differential interest balancing test, which was recently rejected by the United States Supreme Court in the case of New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin. Now, under the Bruin standard, when the Second Amendment's plain text covers an individual's conduct, the Constitution presumptively protects that conduct. And for any firearm regulation to be upheld, the government then has the burden to prove that such regulation comports with the nation's historical tradition of firearm regulation, and they can do so by demonstration of a broad and enduring series of highly similar founding era enactments, demonstrating that certain persons, arms, or activities were never considered to be within the scope of the Second Amendment in the first place. Today, I am proud to announce that Katz & Phillips, PA, on behalf of Gun Owners of America and a named plaintiff, have filed a federal lawsuit in the United States District Court for the Southern District of Florida, seeking to have Florida Statute 790.053 subsection 1 declared unconstitutional based on the Bruin decision. As this lawsuit progresses, I will be sure to keep you all up to date. Be sure to let us know what you think of Florida's open carry ban and whether you believe it should be overturned or not down in the comments section to this video, along with any other questions you may have. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, and if you have not already done so, please take a second to subscribe to the Firearm Firm channel by clicking that subscribe icon down in the right hand corner of this video. Until next time, stay armed and educated.